These seniors know where to go to exercise their spirit, dance like the stars, play with their hearts, and energize their minds. It's a place called the Curtis Arts and Humanities Center in Greenwood Village. This former red brick schoolhouse continues the tradition of teaching the young and the young at heart.
I got involved with this through Darlene Handler. Darlene and I are on the board of the Friends of the Carson Brierley Dance Library. And Darlene was looking for someone who could do this during the winter months when she was out of the city, and contacted me. I came over here and I just fell in love with this place and the people almost immediately. The benefit of this for the senior people is that they learn to move their bodies, and it's so important for them not to just be sedentary and sit all the time. And this, I try to concentrate on different aspects of stretching and toning so that they get stretched out, they think about posture, and I also concentrate a great deal on balance. We talk and find out about what's going on in each other's lives, and I think it's just important for them to get out. Some of them are home alone and would have no consistent interaction with lots of other people, and this gives them that opportunity.
Oh, it's been part of my life. I started dancing when I was 3 years old with Florence Rustin in the old Tabor Center. And I am now 72 and I am still dancing. So by the time I'm 80, maybe I'll learn to retire. It's been a blessing.
Well, I know my mom came here several years ago, and when her Alzheimer's started getting worse, I knew that she needed exercise and that might help her. So I started bringing her back here, and the ladies have just taken her under their wing, and they're just so wonderful. So, and it's done me a lot of good too. She's done a lot better. She's had a knee replacement and stuff, and her balance and her walking is a lot better. We used to have the cane and the walker, and now she's pretty much off and running. Well, sort of. I was real sick about 1.5 years ago, and I lost all my muscles and had to get them back. I couldn't stand up out of the chair without helping myself. Now it's no problem at all, and so it's built my muscles up. It's also made me feel really good having the camaraderie. The ladies have just been so encouraging and loving. It's just made me feel not, you know, it's just like a little club of people taking care of each other.
Whether you're a regular or just visiting for the first time, this cheery group will brighten up your day. You don't have to have any experience. Just be ready to dance to the tempo.
Well, I was reading the Village newsletter about 4 years ago, and I heard about dance and exercise at the Curtis Arts Center. And I thought, oh, well, that might be fun to try, to get in shape, more exercise, and I have been so thrilled with it. It just makes me feel so good. And it's really good exercise, I think, not only for the body, the physical body, but for the brain, trying to learn all the different dances. When I arrived, there were quite a few, maybe 9 or 10, who had already done a lot of the dances. And so I had to learn quickly, and that was probably good for me.
We used to do it in 2 days. Now it's all in 1 day, and I want to do the exercise, and I love to dance. So I've done the dance routine now for at least 5 years, and the exercise also. And then I'm in harmonic hats, which is after the dance, and that I've been doing at least 5, 6 years. Yeah, so it's an active morning for me.
And for those who want to take it down a notch, you can enlist in a harmonica class, listen to an art lecture, or develop your artistic passions. Whatever the activity may be, the energy of this place is gravitating to a new senior, or a seasoned one, like 87-year-old instructor Lee Rose.
I instruct a class in drawing. It's really drawing. I want people to learn to draw. Anyone who paints or does any other kind of artwork really can always use a drawing class. And we draw with a model, which is an advantage or a disadvantage, but it's really important to get that kind of feedback from a model. And so we do mostly figure work. It's not still life or flowers or things like that. It's good because they come in, some of them never having drawn before, saying, I can't, I just make stick figures. And they learn that they can, and that it's really a fun and a relaxing kind of thing. There's no pressure. No one has to do anything that they're going to go home and hang on their wall. But what they get is what filters in through their body and their hand into to the page that they're drawing from. And it's just really an exciting way for some of these people to realize, I can do this. Just keep them sharp, keep them thinking, feeling, and experiencing something that's new and different for them. And if they're experienced, it's just as good because it just furthers their abilities, you know. If they've been an artist all their lives and want to draw, this is the place to come.
It's an important release, and we are pretty much a regular group, so we get to be friends, which also makes it's part of the relaxation, is that you know you're going to be with your buddies that you're with once a week. My husband just died of cancer about 2 years ago, and knowing that I had friends here was an important part of keeping me going while he was passing away.
Across town is another senior hangout that is making seniors smile. This special place is called SarahCare at the DTC, and it's giving older adults a chance to reconnect and experience joy in their lives. At SarahCare, these dependent seniors spend the day in a fun and friendly environment of activities, group exercise, and outings. And if they have an impairment that needs attention, they can also be treated with specialized care to help them age comfortably. Caring for aging parents can be challenging and can also put a strain on the caretaker's everyday life. Tanya Clarke, overwhelmed with managing day-to-day responsibilities while taking care of her mom, Kat, decided that adult daycare was the best option for her mother.
A week after she broke her hip, my father was diagnosed with esophageal cancer and died 3 weeks later. My mom has had Alzheimer's progressing for the last few years, and I was working full-time as an office manager. My brother works full-time, and we didn't want to put her in a facility full-time because she still really enjoys the family and being with us. So in order for her to move in with me, I had to come up with some help. And quite frankly, we tried bringing in some of the people that had helped us while my dad was home for 3 weeks on hospice, but being at home was very sad for her. It was a familiar place that just continually didn't have my dad in it. And coming to this was a routine where she met new friends and almost established a secondary family, and this proved to be way, way better for us to bring her here, where she had people that really you know, cared about her, and she had her own thing. She goes to work when I go to work. We both go to work.
At first, Kat was apprehensive about going to SarahCare, but immediately was welcomed by the group and the friendly staff, which helped ease her mind.
She was not thrilled initially, but we kind of did it gradually. The first day she stayed 3 hours, then we did whatever, and I still don't leave her. 6 hours is about as long as I have to. I'm fortunate because I do some of my work from home, but my mother-in-law stayed here the full day, and she loved it. Her personality was such that she was sad on Saturdays she couldn't go. My mom still likes to be home, but she just lost my dad a few months ago, so I think she's still in quite a transitional period. And I would say, if you see that your parents need something, and you need something yourself, it's really important as adult caregivers to give yourself this time. And if you see that you need something and they need something, you've got to suck it up and give it a whirl and not expect them to go in grinning and smiling. But you just sort of realize that this ends up being better for both of you. And it really is. I'm not saying that as an excuse. It's better for me. I'm a better daughter to her when she's home. And she is a little bit tireder, which is good. She goes to bed better. So there are advantages of them. At my house, she was simply sitting, watching Little House on the Prairie reruns and crying about my dad. And so this is way better.
Since Kat's enrollment at Sarah Care, Tanya says she now has a sense of peace, knowing that her mother has found a new purpose and some new friends.
I think people don't realize that a lot of these people that are here have had such incredible lives, such interesting people. They've been involved in many, many things and were almost very famous at some time. And they get old and then you see them in a deteriorated state and it doesn't seem. But they appreciated that my mother played the piano. She has Alzheimer's, yet for some reason she has not forgotten that. And so they hired her to work here. And she's very pleased with that. She's very proud of herself because she comes here. So I think the whole staff idea of being so warm and welcoming and taking each person where they are with whatever cognitive deficits they have and building on it and encouraging them to continue to participate with things like the Meals on Wheels. Sometimes my mom will go, sometimes she won't. That's cool, whichever way. She goes next door and plays billiards. She thinks she is a pool shark at this point. So this has been great for her. It's given her something that takes up some of her time, and when I bring her home, she talks about her day. And before, she didn't. Her day was just lonely, missing my father.
Like Kat, every participant that comes here has an honorable past, and many have lived some amazing lives. Some were homemakers, accountants, military personnel, engineers, attorneys, doctors, and even entrepreneurs. Whatever career they led or position held, their new job is now going to Sarah Care at DTC. And by the looks of things, they really enjoy it.
Yeah, we like to have fun.
And do you know a lot of people here?
Yeah.
Good. And they're all your friends?
Yeah, several of our friends.
We exercise 2 hours a day, and it keeps us.
Takes care of everything, activities, food, and the people. And they're all good.
Today, people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and even 90s are living life like never before. We will learn about some local senior programs that are motivating seniors to remain active, but most importantly, showing them that the fun things in life should never be compromised. Greenwood Village is staffed by many dedicated employees. One of those is Jo Cole, who's with me today. Jo started with the city in 1989 and as the Cultural Arts Coordinator. She is responsible for all the arts programs at the Curtis Arts and Humanities Center. Jo has a BA in Fine Art and Art History and is finishing up her master's degree at Regis University. During her tenure, Jo has developed many art programs, exhibits, and lectures. She is credited with bringing the Children's Arts in Schools program to the village and enhancing senior programs at the Curtis Center. And she is also a well-known member of the arts community here in Denver. Then we have also with us Randy Gornbein, who is the owner of Sarah Care at DTC. And Randy and his wife Carol have opened it as an adult daycare center franchise in the Denver Tech Center in 2010. And their goals are to give their participants a real sense of purpose in a vibrant social community and give the caregiver the comfort in knowing that their loved one is in a safe, fun, and engaging environment, allowing them to take care of the things they need to do. And lastly, Linda Aloise, who is Senior Program Coordinator for the South Suburban Park and Recreation District. For the past 13 years, Linda has planned recreational activities for seniors at 3 of the district's recreation centers. She has over 29 years of experience working with seniors. She has the philosophy of use it or lose it, mind and body. Linda is also involved in the community to advocate for senior services with her position on the Arapahoe County Council on Aging and the City of Centennial Senior Commission. Folks, this morning, if someone were to say, I'm recently retired or have been retired for some time, what are the fun things available for me? And let's begin with the senior opportunities at Curtis Arts and Humanities Center. Joe?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And thank you for discussing this issue. It is so important because there are a lot of older seniors around who are looking for things to do. We in Greenwood Village are very fortunate that we have the Curtis Arts and Humanities Center in Greenwood Village, which is a building, was an old schoolhouse circa 1913. As such, it's very engaging to the older people because they can relate to it. So on Mondays, we offer senior programs which start with something called Stretch and Tone. With a professional teacher, they go through the process of doing exercises, but very minor exercises that are based on flexibility and balance, which is very important to seniors. And the teachers recognize everything that goes on, so if they see something that's too difficult, they stop and try to do something a little bit more relaxing to them. After that program, we have one called Seniors on the Curtis Dancers, actually. And this is a little bit more vibrant group who love to dance. They learn steps, they learn how to perform, and that again, the teacher is a professional, and if she sees something is going wrong, she will stop. And no one is ever stressed out doing their exercises. Then we have something called Art Talk, and I run that one. We go upstairs if the seniors are interested, and we talk about the show that's up there. We ask them to be engaged in a particular piece of artwork and discuss it, which some of them are artists and some are wannabe artists, so it's all very good for them. Then we have a program called Harmonic Hats, which seniors, it's very good for them because they're blowing, but also they're learning something new. You don't have to know music, you don't have to know anything about music, and you will learn because all you have to bring is a C note and your ambition to learn. I think we have a great program. It's a drop-in program. It is free. There's no stress, no struggle. As I say, it's a very comfortable, engaging environment.
Joe, let's put in a plug for where the Curtis Arts Center is located.
The Curtis Center is at 2349 East Orchard Road, which is in Greenwood Village, obviously. It's off Orchard and University. I do want to mention we have art programs too, and many seniors are taking those art programs. They're very much interested in art. Retirees come, and those that are not retired come. We have all ages taking our art classes. And I'll have to say that we have some people who are so wonderful with their hands because a couple of our students are doctors, former doctors, so they really want to use their hands again. So we welcome all ages to the Curtis Arts and Humanities Center, aside from the seniors.
Thank you, Joe. Linda, what programs are available at South Suburban and Arapahoe County Council on Aging?
There's definitely a wide range. As you said, seniors are living longer, or individuals are living longer, and retiring is just another transition in life after kids are gone, job. So it's finding what your passion is, or what that bucket list is, or whatever you might call it, and also finding that purpose in life. So there's a wide range. You can start off with the exercise. We have our recreation centers, and especially for seniors, there's the Silver Sneakers program, which is a wonderful program that fits all ability levels. You can either do the exercises sitting down with manipulatives such as balls, bands, or you can stand behind the chair for balance. As Joe mentioned, balance is definitely a key issue as you get older. And then that's just one part of it. Through the senior programs, we have day trips and tours. We have art classes. You can come in and play cards. Pinochle, poker, bridge is a big one. And then we also have a wide range of educational programs as well.
Linda, Greenwood Village is not part of the South Suburban Recreation District, but you nevertheless, for a small fee, welcome Greenwood Village residents?
Oh, definitely, yes. We attract folks from Castle Rock, Denver area. Unfortunately, you just pay a little bit smaller, higher fee for that. And then through the Arapahoe County Council on Aging, if you're really into advocacy and networking, professional networking, that's definitely an opportunity. The Arapahoe County Council on Aging is the arm, I guess you could say, the senior arm for advocacy through Denver Regional Council of Governments.
Thank you. Randy, tell us all about Sarah Care, why you started it, when you started it, where it is, and what you do.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Excuse me. And it's an honor to be with you gals, too. Our senior population really is in need of programs such as, well, all three of ours. My wife and I, Carol, found Sarah Care in actually St. Louis about 7 years ago. We were given the task by mom-in-law to find an adult day program for Dad, Bob, and we set out on the task in St. Louis to find a nice adult day program. We were kind of stunned to find that due to lack of any regulations, and that's almost nationally, that a lot of them weren't very nice. And we stumbled onto this place called Sarah Care, and it was warm and inviting, and it just really felt like the right place. Well, we enrolled Bob, and he didn't go willingly the first couple of times, but after 2 or 3 visits, he was getting himself up and getting dressed and ready to go to that place. Now, I failed to mention my father-in-law was about mid-stage Alzheimer's at that point. The program made such a difference to our family that we looked into it, and it turned out that it was a franchise. In Denver being home, we were able to secure the franchise rights to Denver, and we opened up about, this June will be 3 years ago. And our program is for the folks that need a little bit more assistance than either Joe's or Linda's programs. And predominantly we have three different participants. One is possibly the spouse of somebody who just needs a little bit of a break, a respite, if you will. Perhaps they're working, or they just need time to grocery shop or go out and play around the golf, or just something to recharge their own batteries. The second is mom or dad, their spouses died, and the surviving spouses moved in with the adult children, who still have very active lives with kids and jobs and things. So we have a lot of folks that are dropped off in the morning as the caregiver heads to work, and we take care of mom or dad in an active, fun environment. We keep them engaged with lots of different activities, lots of different programs. We do physical exercises a couple times a day. We do mental stimulation. And on Wednesdays, we have this great program through TLC Meals on Wheels. We take a group of folks out, and we actually deliver the Meals on Wheels. And the opportunity is just wonderful for the people to get out. And Linda, you had alluded to giving them a sense of purpose. They come back from delivering the meals, and they're just walking a little taller and walking a little more quickly. And it's just really a wonderful opportunity for them to, again, still feel that sense of purpose. And then the third group, which is smaller, but we do have some seniors that live independently, and they come to Sarah Care for the socialization, for the outings, the activities, all of those sorts of things. And we do provide transportation for a lot of the folks, too.
Sounds like a really fun place. Maybe I can drop by. What are your age spans?
We've had folks as young with the young onset of some of the diseases in the early mid-50s. And we just celebrated a birthday, one of our participants, 96, just last week, I believe it was. So the average age is around 70 to 75.
Great. Most seniors, folks, are on fixed incomes. Could you each speak to the affordability of your programs? Joe?
Well, all the senior programs are free. And the art classes obviously are, we charge for those, but we also have a senior discount, which is 10% for seniors only. And I think it works very well.
Linda?
South Suburban is very sensitive to the needs of the seniors and the fee increase, or I'm sorry, the cost of some of the programs. Silver Sneakers is probably the better bargain, depending on your insurance level. You can attend the rec centers free of charge, and then even if you don't have the insurance coverage for that, you're still welcome to come into the center at a very minimal charge. We also look at, we have quite a few free educational programs. Our trips and tour, the day trips and tours program, we really try and keep to a minimum. We have a wide range from, just going out to lunch, which is very minimal. And then we also have the shows as well, which could be a little bit high priced, but what we try and do is get the group discount tickets so that we can reduce that fee. South Suburban also has a scholarship program so that if seniors are unable to attend due to financial restraints, they can apply for the scholarship program. What we look at is that we want to get seniors out, not so isolated in their homes, and really enjoy the socialization of other people.
What I'd like to talk about next is for each of you to give perhaps an example of a really positive outcome of your program. Somebody, well, maybe sort of in Randy, like in referring to your father-in-law Bob, but maybe another example.
Sure.
But let me start with Joe on that.
Well, I think the program brings people together in a social way too. They become friends. They celebrate birthdays. Unfortunately, occasionally there is someone that doesn't come back, and they all they check up on each other. And I think the social part of this program is so good for them because I think it's so important for them to interact with their own age group.
Linda?
We have a lot of success stories at South Suburban Parks and Recreation with the Silver Sneakers class, as well as just participating in the programs and the volunteer program that we have as well. I have seniors that come and say, you guys saved my life, from not being isolated to getting out, meeting people, and meeting new people that they wouldn't ordinarily get to meet.
Randy?
It's very interesting. When we have a new person enroll, we kind of joke amongst ourselves, when will we get the phone call? And reference the phone call from the caregiver asking something to the effect of, what did you do to Dad? And we all laugh about it because we know it's a positive thing. What happens often is because of the extra stimulation, because of the camaraderie, because of a little bit of nursing oversight that we do have, that the people seem to get a little bit better. And we stress that it's not that they got better, we're just stimulating the things that are still able to be stimulated. For instance, probably our favorite story was the wife had called us up and asked, what did you do to, I'll say Frank. And we'll chuckle a little bit, well, what do you mean? He said, well, Frank came home last night after being at SareCare, it was just his second day, and he got down on the floor and played with the dog. He hasn't done that in 9 or 10 months. He said, what did you do? And again, we laugh a little bit and just said, you know, we just stimulated all the things that were still able to be stimulated. And again, as I said before, kind of gave Frank a sense of purpose for that day.
Randy, is there a professional association or regulation of facilities like yours?
There is one national affiliation called NADSDA, it's National Association of Adult Day. Aside from that, there's virtually no oversight except for the centers, of which we are one of them, that are licensed by Medicaid, not Medicare. So Medicaid does pay for adult day under certain circumstances, and aside from that, it's predominantly a private pay situation, or long-term care insurance also covers, usually covers adult day programs.
Great. I think it's important for folks to know that there are some things you can look for when you're evaluating a facility like yours.
Absolutely. And the NADSDA has a website that's got a checklist when you're researching adult day programs, the things to look for and the questions to ask. One of the key things is the ratio of participants to caregivers. And something that we maintain a maximum of 6 participants for every single caregiver.
6 to 1. 6
to 1. So it's a very hands-on, very personal interaction with the folks.
That's some great information, Randy. Thank you very much. What about volunteer opportunities? Cole?
Well, I think most seniors don't like to come out at night, so we have to figure out what we can do with them in the daytime. We'd love to have a receptionist at the Curtis Center who can talk about the place, who can talk about the programs that we involved in, and also talk about themselves. So I think we're looking for receptions who would love to do that. And I think that if they can use a computer, would like to do computer work, we can find a spot for them to do something there. But most of all, we want their presence there. We want them to enjoy the place and engage people as they come in, that this is what we're about.
Thank you, Joe. Linda?
It's finding that passion again, I think. As you get older, what is that passion? What is that purpose, as we mentioned? And many opportunities. It's just you have to kind of seek them out as what your interest is. South Suburban offers volunteer opportunities through the senior programs. We have a weekly lunch program that we pretty much could not open our doors if we didn't have those seniors. And then we also have the Carson Nature Center. So if you really enjoy the outdoors, Carson Nature Center has a wonderful opportunity to volunteer. There's the athletics programs. It's just finding what your passion is and kind of moving for that, so moving towards that.
Thank you. Randy, are there any volunteer opportunities that you're aware of?
Actually, there are quite a few. We have a lot of family members that they realize how important the program has been to their family, and they like to volunteer, help with some of the activities. We have some professional art students that donate their time for our arts program. We have some that come in and lead different card groups or different types of activities, including our croquet program, which has been a wonderful thing through Jiminy Wicket is the name of the organization. It's a wonderful program that was established for Alzheimer's people, and I find that croquet is a very fun, interactive, easy game for folks even with some limited abilities to be able to perform. So we do the Jiminy Wicket at Sarah Care, as well as during the summer down at Washington Park on the professional croquet through the Alzheimer's Association.
Randy, well, we've got the camera on you. You mentioned the website. Could you give us a little bit more detail on websites and any other place where we can find contact information?
Surely.
Or information in general?
Our website has a lot of information about our program and the different activities and so forth, and that's simply sarahcare.com, Sarah with an H and then the /DTC for the Denver Tech Center. But the NADS, National Association of Adult Day Centers, is the national one that gives a lot broader stroke information about adult day programs and the different types that there are. And that's basically it. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of oversight on our industry, which has its goods and its bads.
Yep. Linda? Website?
Oh, thank you. South Suburban has a website, www.ssprd.org. And then the Arapahoe County Council on Aging also has a website, which is accoa.net. And then we do have two publications. We have the Adult Connection, which has all the senior activities in it, as well as the South Suburban Connection, which is available at all the facilities.
Great. Joe?
Well, you can always get us on the website, www.greenwoodvillage.com. We also have a newsletter, which is available to anyone that walks into the Curtis Center, or it's mailed to all the residents and businesses, which gives all this information. When you go into the website, you might look up the recreation and find Curtis Center, and you'll find all that information on the programs that we are having.
I want to thank our guests very much for coming. I think it's been really informative to me and to you. There are many recreational and leisure opportunities for seniors available in the region. So what happens if you don't drive and can't access these programs on your own, or you're a caretaker that can't get off work to get those you care for to their appointments? Coming up next, let's learn about some transportation options to help seniors get around town.